only one who saw it as the rest of the party move ahead. What do you do?
And I just see him fall how many feet down?
600 feet.
He falls and tumbles and falls and tumbles and keeps going. Every time he hits a ledge, he rolls to the edge of the ledge and then falls again, tumbles more, till his broken form finally becomes settled down the bottom, and it's twisted in so many different directions.
I'm gonna kind of just look down the cliff with like a horrid look on my face and kind of just stand like perplexed for a moment. At this point, I guess I'm just gonna kind of I'm trying not to yell at the same time because I know if I'm because we're also trying to sneak up on where were we on our way to?
A place called Shepherd Rock.
Yeah, Shepherd Rock. So yeah, I'm trying not to give like our location away by making too much noise at the same time. So I'm stuck between like a piss and a shit. I guess at this point I'm going to just say a prayer and and kind of hurry up to the group to tell them what happened.
Alright, those of you who are moving ahead, you can see Vicious scrambling up behind you with a panicked look in his eyes. It looks like he's scrambling for his life, and there's no sign of Conrad. We'll just, even if it's a retrospective, we'll just assume that no one's actually gone into the cave yet. You might have looked inside. You might have seen that horrendous scene of an obese juvenile ripping the legs off a centipede, and all the smoke in there from as some sort of cooking pot boils over, and the screaming, the horrid screaming of some ill-bred child, infant. So you know that that's all going on in there, but we'll just assume that you're not actually in there yet. And you can see that a couple of ledges below, Vicious is scrambling to reach you. What do you do?
Ooh. He seems to be pretty scared.
That's all.
I think it's Jane, Kursk, and Braxton at the edge of the cavern.
That makes sense, yeah.
Jane looks down at looks at Kursk and was like, "What is he so scared?"
I start waving to Vicious, and holding my hands up, questioning.
I kind of finally get to them, and now I'm out of breath and go, fucking Conrad, he
ran off again, didn't he? What?
No, pretty sure he just fell to his death.
What?
Yeah,
What? No, that can't be.
I mean, he just lost his grip and just fell out, and he just tumbled 600 feet.
Jane just kind of turns around and kind of holds her face for a moment.
I'm not sure what to do at this point. I don't know if I should be going down there or we continue on.
How far up were we?
You're pretty close. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure, but I think you might have been on the lip of the cave. At least I'm pretty sure Braxton was. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah. But how far did he fall from? I still turn around and look at you. How far?
I would say about 600 feet, give or take.
Is that survivable? Like, can men survive that?
Heroes can survive it. Marinus would survive it. Maybe.
She shakes her head and looks down. You see tears streaming down her face, even for this man. She kind of.
Focus, my lady. What? You seem to have a cave full of ogres. What, Vicious? We probably need to take care of them now. What?
Are we sure we need to take care of these ogres? I mean, we can't just pass by this cave.
And leave them to terrify the countryside? What? Besides, there's only two of them. What? And one's adolescent. What? Are you good up close, Vicious? What?
Yeah, I can work my way around with the blade, but
Do you prefer to hang back? What?
I could do either or. I don't mind going up front. I got a shield. My head's just kind of in disarray seeing Conrad fall like that.
Yes, what? Well, I guess the best I can do is get the two big ones' attentions while you three, I guess, pepper them with whatever you have.
If that's what you need, I will.
Alright.
I kind of put my big hand on her shoulder just to like give her like a reaffirming grasp. No time for tears now. What?
She nods quickly, wiping away her tears, and
It'll blur your vision, and I don't want to be caught on fire. What?
she laughs. I understand.
Good. All right, Braxton. Let me ease around you. What?
And as he gives you the space that you need, meanwhile, there is a random traveler of a rather rare race making their way through an environment that they're probably ill-suited for. I assume that our friendly neighborhood tortoise has come from damper lands, perhaps a swamp or a river or something like that.
Probably around about the Sea of Fallen Stars.
That's a big journey for a young turtle. How did you get washed all this way upstream?
Hadn't thought that far ahead.
We can think now. So you come from the Sea of Fallen Stars. That's a long way away. But at the same time, it's as long as you're coming from, say, the Dragonmere, which is a nice little sheltered place, it would probably be very suitable.
Yeah, sorry, Dragonmere's. I was mixing up the seas. I thought that was Sea of the Fallen Stars, was right below Cormire.
Oh, it is. It is and it isn't. It's part of the Sea of Fallen Stars, but it's just a specific part. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dragonmere.
Cool.
More likely.
Yeah, no, it's a good choice. And yeah, so yeah, you're a marine tortoise, and it's not only is it one of the most settled and civilized parts of the Sea of Fallen Stars, it's also very peaceful. Partly because Cormier doesn't tolerate pirates, and partly just because of the natural shelter that is provided by what is essentially an extremely large bay or lake. A very sheltered part of this the inner sea. And so you've left these peaceful and warm waters, which have become increasingly turbulent during the past year or so, since that famous human king died fighting a dragon. But even so, to reach the Stonelands from such a location, did you travel upriver, or did you go along conventional routes called roads?
Upriver, more kind of just living the life, traveling upriver. Probably up past Arabelle, somewhere near the Hulak.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so that small body of water that you reach, like a kind of lake, is called the Wyvern Water. And it's not that different to the Dragonmere, except for the fundamental difference that one is fresh and one is salt. But they're both fairly shallow as far as massive bodies of lakes of water come from, but also quite expansive. So you make your way through the Wyvern Water and all the way up to Arabelle. But you don't stop there. You somehow manage to get all the way in the Stonelands, and this will probably mean travelling along roads and going and crossing mountains. Why would you engage in such a unnecessary task?
For two reasons, which some people may see as a bit simple-minded, but you know, it's a simple turtle. Number one being that by then I've seen a lot of these human knights that seem to be held in great respect for being warriors, honourable warriors, and they seem to be rather fond of battling and slaying orcs. And you know, the orcs that I've met so far haven't been particularly friendly.
Excellent. So, of all the people that you've come across, you've found humans to be relatively tolerable, orcs to be quite the opposite. Yeah. So you've now made your way into these Stonelands, and you've bitten off more than you can chew. There are orcs by the numbers higher than you even knew numbers go. Like, there are orcs here equivalent to the stars in the night sky. And you've been here for some time. You've probably weathered the winter here, the bitter, bitter cold winter. And you're getting a little bit more active now as the spring melts the snows and the glaciers. And the orcs are certainly getting more active as well. But one time on your patrol, from a ridge where you're hiding in your shell, you just look like a particularly speckled and gnarled rock. You've seen a tragedy unfold. As you gradually wake up, it appears that no one's noticed you, and they think that you're nothing more than a boulder. But as you've been waking up, you've become aware of a group of people, mostly humans, you think, scaling mountains. You think they're coming to raid an orc camp that you've been watching. These orcs have besieged humans. They've managed to trap the humans in the cave, much like a fox might trap the turtle in his own shell while trying to hunt him. And so these orcs have pinned these humans inside their cave, and maybe these are a rescue force or a war party or something come to rescue them. But while you're waking up and assessing them and determining, you know, what your next maneuver will be, one of them falls. And
that's not very good.
And their war party, which already looked like it would have no chance against the orcs, they're outnumbered 3-1 is your estimate. And orcs are fierce creatures for people that don't have natural armor like a shell. So these humans, they're like outnumbered 2 or 3-1, and they've just lost one of their number again. Like, you should probably either warn them to turn back or get involved in some fashion.
I definitely better go help them if they're going to fight the orc.
You're not far away. You're only a couple of like maybe 30-40 feet above the main group. They've stumbled across an ogre's lair, which you you're aware that it's there because you could hear the ogres screaming, but you probably haven't paid much attention to them. They're male. The male ogre left the family a couple of days ago. You don't know if he's coming back or not. But then there's just been smoke and screaming ever since. So while you've been probably largely ignoring that small family of ogres, you are aware of Shepherd Rock, or the place that humans call Shepherd Rock, the orcs that have besieged the humans nearby. And yeah, you're about 40 feet, 50, 60 feet above Braxton and Krusk and Jane, and they have no idea that you're there. You're just another bolt to them. So yeah, please take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what business they have with this family of ogres, so I guess I'll slowly follow them.
So back to the group with Jane and Krusk. You're reeling from this death, and Vicious has caught up with you. The three of you are standing around. Oh, sorry, Lumber, you didn't bring your character in last week, did you?
Sorry, I forgot I was on mute. No, I was supposed to be in the back of the, shut down, decommissioned.
Oh, that's right, in the back of the ogre cave, right?
Well, that was at least the idea that you proposed.
That works perfectly. Yeah, good. Like my memory's not very good. Trust me. Oh man, like if I have my major flaw in all of this is the inability is my Alzheimer's disease. So anyway, no worries. You're shut down in the back of the cave. That's perfect. So yeah, now I just interrupted. I'll go back now to those of you who are standing on the ledge. Your companion's dead. You're completely unaware that you're being stalked by a barbarian reptile. You are completely unaware of the murder robot which sits rusting inside the cave. You think things are bad just because Conrad's died. Oh wow, got no idea. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go in the cave, or do you have some other plan? Maybe take the body back to Griffin Hill, or even just say a prayer. He was a priest after all. What are you going to do? Eat the corpse? You're a bit low on food. Too soon?
I think we were resolved to go ahead and take out the ogres.
Or
Jane kind of moves behind Kursk. I will follow you. And she prepares herself, I think.
So Braxton, I've already been up there, he tells you. There was a juvenile torturing some creature. A big pot, stew boiling over, I think it was stew. A horrendous female that I think that she's dozing or comatose or something, ignoring the screaming baby. If we move up there, we might startle them. But he looks to Kursk, and he looks to Vicious, and he looks to Jane. I'll let you decide how we go about this, as he knocks an arrow. Conveniently, it goes to the back of the...
Well, we'll see if we can get this adolescent unawares and try and take him out quickly before the mother awakes.
Jane will place her hand on her chest and bow her head, and will chant and whisper the name of Chris as she casts mage armor on herself.
Are we sure?
Ilmater protects you.
Are we sure these ogres are of a threat at all? You know, maybe they might be peaceful.
They're bloody ogres. What? peaceful ogres. What?
I don't know, I'm just saying, you know, we can't all assume that everything it would be evil. I mean, you were born of from an orc and a human.
They are purebred. Have you not heard the stories? Have you not been amongst the common folk? They are worse than monsters. They eat what they will. They take what they want because their strength dictates so. They are monsters.
And future monsters. What?
Kill them all.
I'll do what I must, but I kind of feel uneasy about this.
Three of you have managed to sneak up to this entrance to the cave. Thick smoke pours out of it, and so your vision is somewhat limited as your eyes sting. But your approach is muffled by the squeal of this child, of this infant. And so through the thick smoke, you're able to get some measure of what the place looks like. There's a fair bit of light in here, ironically, cast by the fire, but also by glowing fungi and mushrooms which line the walls. They're not the only fungi here. There's quite a variety of different fungi. Some of them are spotted, and some of them are a more bony beige colour. But there's a lot of fungal life in here. A pile of skulls sits in one corner that almost looks like it's been stacked as a collection. Trophies or some other icon. A few sacks lie strewn around, and they're not sealed, and things are spilling from them. It looks like leaves or some sort of black grain or something. Salt, maybe. And in among all of this, there's that really thick and pungent odor of whatever it is cooking on the pot. It doesn't smell like a stew so much as some kind of organic, earthy brew. So maybe like a vegetable stew. But I don't know if you've ever heard of vegetarian ogres. Anyway, that's the scenario that we've got here. The woman is, and I guess I use the word woman fairly loosely, but the ogress is over in one side of the room, and she seems to be deliberately trying to drown out the sound, doing all that she can. She's not lying down or comatose, but rather just relaxing. Braxton watched her go over to the cauldron and stick a big bowl in it, and then take the bowl back to the corner. She inhales from the bowl deeply, as if its scent helps her to meditate, and then she drinks deeply from the hot draught and becomes drowsy and groggy, and sort of almost collapses in the corner in a state of half dozing, while the baby just screams and screams. We do.
Does the adolescent look preoccupied with his little thing, centipede?
So preoccupied. He is filled with delight and glee, absolutely loving it.
And do this pile of skulls look like human skulls?
Make a perception check. Through the smoke, it's difficult to see. You can't really tell, but you think that there are an assortment of skulls.
Okay. Well, I guess since I'm the frontline guy, I'm gonna start sneaking up behind the adolescent.
Jane will put her hand on your shoulder for a moment. Wait. We can see clear across the cavern, right? Toward Big Mom.
Clear's not the right word because there's a lot of smoke, but yeah, there's not so much smoke that it's like a burning building. And yeah, you can. There's enough light, and there's the vision is not so bad that you can't see her. That's correct.
She puts her hand on your shoulder and points toward the child, and then toward the larger figure towards the end of the room, and then towards the skulls. She's not doing anything. She doesn't see us. We could kill her first, and then whatever with the child.
Well then, you three, as I look to Braxton, can focus on the mother while she's still at range, and I can take care of this little one over here. Sound like a plan? What?
I think that'll work.
My only question with this is, I see a mother, I see a child. Where's the father?
Speaking of that question, the turtle has now, just as you were, stretching getting ready to declare your appearance or whatever, turtle, these guys have begun going inside the ogre cave. What are you going to do? They've been gone for about a minute now.
I'll keep following him in, and I'll introduce myself to the first person I meet.
Someone's coming from behind you guys. You can hear them. Like maybe it's Braxton that says, "Hey, we're being approached from behind."
Turn around. Her hands light not a flame, but you see them like flicker and flame.
Some reptilian monster with a huge biting beak. They're covered in thick plates of armor that resemble a turtle shell, and they're heavily armed. This creature looks like it could be a match for any of you.
Garsk! Behind it!
Braxton draws his bow.
What?
Why, hello.
Shh!
Huh? You're a bit green.
You're a bit... something. What?
What?
Yes, what?
What?
It's turn of face.
What are you?
I am Ubo.
Curse gets frantically looking behind him to make sure no one notices this.
He'll kind of casually point into the cave. There's ogres in.
Ogres. Yes. Be quiet.
We plan to kill them, says Braxton. Waiting for your reaction to those. He's got his arrow ready in case you react the wrong way.
Why would you do that?
Because they're ogres, what? They kill things, what? Lots of things, what?
You look like you kill things.
Well, they kill indiscriminately, what?
They're monsters, Braxton says as he looks you from your clawed feet to your reptilian beady eyes.
How do you know that?
I point to the pile of skulls.
Does it look like humanoid skulls or like animal skulls?
Make a perception check. There's a variety of skulls.
Oh my!
So we're going to kill them before they can hurt anything else. What?
Oh, well, I guess that makes a bit of sense.
If that's the case, are you willing to help?
You could take the front line, Braxton says. You're armored.
I'm armored too, what?
Wait, let him take the hits. Who was killed?
Uber's giving Braxton a curious look like, huh?
Braxton smiles. He didn't realize you could hear that.
Fight with us. We're here to destroy them.
I suppose I'm already here.
Good, what?
Meanwhile, on the far side of the room, an automaton, it stares with its power at less than 1% as it looks at the gem, the heart gem, that is sitting out of its reach. It was tortured by these creatures, by these ogres, captured by the father and given to the child as a toy, and the punishments that you endured at the hands of this aberrant child. And when you finally had enough and began to retaliate, they simply ripped out your heart gem. And now it sits a few feet in front of you. You have the power to look at it and mourn, but not enough energy to pick it up and replace. Goes on. You can hear, but your senses are just loud enough to scent the approach of some individual. And what approach are you going to take? So you've got a turtle now. Turtle has agreed to be a part of your murderous entourage.
Well, I had planned on sneaking up and trying to take out the little one while the rest of the party was sniping the big one. So I guess the turtle and I could do that.
Okay, I'll try sneak up with it.
Good luck.
So let's roll for initiative, and as you take your actions, like, because you'll get the surprise round for free, but we'll see.
No stealth rolls.
I think I'll do the stealth roll as like your action, so that if you stuff it up, then like the rest of the party still got their action, sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ever since joining your freaking games, Arctic, I have rolled shit for initiative every single time.
You have to take the feat. Trust me, I feel you. You have to take the feat, dude.
Look at my ogres, man. Look at their initiative. Keep complaining.
I don't think I rolled above a 10 this campaign yet.
Maybe once or twice, but not more than that, no. Alright, Vicious. You can see the turtle begin to move forward, and the way he lumbers and shakes, like, you don't think this is going to work. What do you do?
Feeling quite guilty and hesitant about this whole ordeal. My hand shakes as I aim the crossbow at the mother, and I take a deep breath and just fire.
Yeah. Alright, you have advantage on the attack.
What? No, we were waiting!
Blood begins to come out of her mouth as she, looks down at this wound, which has taken her quite surprised, and she begins to gurgle and gargle.
Vicious! What? What the fuck? What
Would someone like to take care of Braxton, or does he just automatically miss?
I can for him.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay, let the
cool.
fighter keep doing that.
I'll give you the vicious. Oh, it's already on all players, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's already on all players, yeah. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm a Comorian.
That's a fantastic impersonation. You're quite good at these these impersonations. The ogre boy starts crying, confused as to why he has an arrow sticking out from his belly. But he's still alive. Like shooting ogres in a cave.
So at this point, Jane's eyes begin to glow. Not glow, but recess, and her eyes are overtaken by this darkness. This dark shadow, and her voice seems to change to the people around him. You will remove yourself from my way, worm. And a man's voice comes from her mouth instead, and she raises her hands and shoots forth this a flame, a similar flame as you've seen before. Hopefully, it'll hit this time.
Stench. No, you've got advantage. He's unaware that you're there.
Fuck him.
The stench of burning flesh overpowers the mushroom brew, and it's a critical hit. And you burn the boy alive. His fat turning to crackling.
What? No, this is all going wrong. What?
Your patron is pleased. Kill the boy.
Ubo starts moving forwards, but he's kind of side-eyeing Jan like, oh, this human girl is scary.
Women make nasty witches.
And I'll pull out my second hand axe, so I'm dual wielding them.
Excellent. Alright, Kursk. The woman looks up, or the ogress looks up from her fetid broth, and the flash of fire startles her, and she drops the bowl. It smashes on the ground, but she doesn't have time to react. What do you do?
Let's see, alright. There, I'm gonna move up. And yeah, I'm gonna dash up to keep her away from the ranged people.
She gets some apprehension of what's going on and screams in the giant tongue, which I'm not sure you guys can understand. But yeah, so she screams. Through the daziness of your of what senses are still functioning on less than 1% power, you're able to translate the word "my son." Vision.
Tear goes to my eye as I aim at the mother again and take another shot.
It's a brilliant strike. A more perfect arrow or cross bolt you never sent flying. It strikes the obese creature, and She grunts with now an arrow and a bolt sticking out of her, and yeah, the fury begins to grow as the confusion transfers into rage. And Braxton?
I'm Braxton, and I killed the kid for waving a flag. Poo-poo.
Excellent. And such ruthless brutality serves you well, Braxton. Child killer. Okay.
Jane's eyes kind of regain their sense as the words escape her. I will, and the words stop, and she regains herself again. It shudders for a moment, but continues on as if knowing what. She'll move forward, I think 30 feet.
The obese boy burns at your feet, smelling like roasted pork.
She'll. What do we got? We got. Can't do anything else. Firebolt. Again, her hands light a flame. This time of her own accord. She'll fire at the woman. The thing. She's not a woman. What the fuck?
It's a scorching blow. And you're calling on all of the dark powers that have been gifted to you. The ogress begins to roast alive, but fury and determination and horror sustains her. She's getting to her feet. Ubo.
Ubo will kind of meander forwards to here and throw his hand axes. These are both at disadvantage because of the range, and I'm doing the second one on the bonus action for dual wielding light weapons, so it's, I believe that means it wouldn't have the strength mod on
The damage.
Are you sure that you can throw a second weapon with bonus
Yeah,
action?
because they're light weapons.
No worries. Like I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it. You know, like I can't recall. Maybe they have over the years, but I can't recall anyone. But a lot of people use throwing weapons though. So dual wielding throwing weapons, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it.
So 16 and 23.
Yeah, both of them. I think.
So take 3 off the second one. So
Okay, 13.
13.
Alright, she is beginning to bleed so heavily from her several wounds that you can see that she's all but dead. But she looks over at her burning son and dismays, and then she looks at the squealing baby and she knows she must fight one.
And I shall draw my battle axe as well as after I throw them.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll move up here.
As you do, she gets to her feet and launches herself at you, but it's still your go.
Now I'll hold my action for her to get in my reach.
Alright. She runs towards you. Do you have 10 foot reach?
I have 10 foot reach with my glaive.
Excellent. And she impales herself on your glaive and is reduced to exactly 0 hit points. So she flails about on your glaive, and she tries to lurch towards you, looking over at her baby and screaming, and as she reaches for you, she impales herself that. The baby screams. does not pop.
Like at all? Like there's no like pause or whatever, like she keeps screaming? Or he?
There is a stop button.
Let Braxton, the baby killer, go with it.
Well, Jane's like walks up to if no one else is doing it, she'll walk up close and
Nah, Curtis will spare her that. He'll find the stop button with his warhammer.
Uh-huh.
oh!
He'll do it like in a spot in the brain where there won't be any pain.
Roll
Like
for
it'll just be done.
damage.
Oh fuck!
He's doing it. Fucking Arctic, goddamn!
Yeah,
Would I have had advantage because like coup de grace?
yeah,
You mean
it's
because you're attacking a baby?
yeah,
That
all of the above, and it is I'll call it a butcher's strike, the sort of hammer blow that a trained killer in an abattoir would deliver to a cow. Sledgehammer to the center of the brain.
Oh, that was really quick.
It was, but what? Now that we're closer to the skulls, can we make out what they are?
You can. So there are a collection of exotic skulls. It looks like they have some sort of hobby of collecting exotic skulls. There are humans here and orcs. There are dire wolves and some very interesting ones. Although majority of them are orcs and goblins with a handful of humans thrown in, plus sheep. Sheep skulls are cool, right? Rats, those sort of things. The ones that would actually be worth something include a wyvern, an owlbear, and a dire wolf. As you begin scratching around, and you'll make some pretty interesting discoveries, but perhaps no more interesting than the automaton which lies to the north. There is a dull glow of light behind its eyes, and it seems to be staring at this large crystal, this large jewel, which has a light in it that are the same color as the light in its eyes. But it's motionless. It looks like it could be worth something. If you scrap it, you could probably, salvage the iron and the copper and, get 30, 40 gold pieces for it. Crystal might be worth another 25, maybe. It's pretty big. Glowing crystal, witch market, you'll be able to sell that for sure.
What is this? That's our boy, right? What is it in front of him? What is that?
It's a big crystal, like a crystal, the shape of a heart that is that glows the same color as his eyes.
What is?
Would I know? Would any of us know what this is?
History check perhaps. If you had your arms and equipment guide, you might know.
I don't mean to jump in here, but does anyone speak Dwarvish? Because that might help as well.
Let me look. No.
Nope.
Undercommon. That's it.
Oh, it's a statue.
But do we see script on you?
Yeah, just above right above the structure's left pectoral, there is Dwarven script, what appears to be some sort of name, and then followed by several numbers, Dwarven numbers.
Kursk will pick up the whatever it is off the ground and inspect.
It looks like it fits a cavity within his chest of the same shape.
before putting it in, he'll like peruse over it to see what the hell's going on with this.
What's going on with it? Not much. There's a glowing light to it, the same color as the dim light in his eyes. But it's not doing anything other than emitting a candle flicker of illumination.
But it looks like this thing right here goes into something on this robot, whatever it's called.
Let me see. Let me look.
I show it to her.
She'll look at it, right, and like put her hands on it for a moment and close her eyes, I think, and then shudders away from it, and then looks back. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out. And I slowly insert it, making sure that I don't clank up against anything that's if it's not supposed to go in there, it doesn't break anything.
Yeah, you're delicate. Do you have sleight of hand?
No.
Alright. You're very delicate. You're as delicate as a turtle with a hand axe.
Do you want me to roll sleight of hand?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oof.
He's pushing at it. Meanwhile, what's your perspective of this? So you've got this vague understanding of what's going on. You're like a coma patient whose eyes are working and nothing else. And you can see the heart jewel being pushed into you, and if it shatters, so how do you feel about this?
I have no emotional response to the situation.
Excellent.
At the moment, there is a survival instinct to protect the heart. Do I start getting power as it inserts, or do I have to wait for complete insertion to power up?
Fortunately, you'll have to wait until it's in there, but you might be able to give off some small signal, like an alarm, or maybe produce a report through a script, or perhaps flashing lights, some sort of minor effect that you might be able to generate. But if you do, that also might drain the very last reserves of your power. So what were you trying to do?
I think in this situation, the bot just remains still, hoping that the process goes as necessary to maintain the structural integrity of the heart and the unit.
Excellent. Okay, so you're not sure that this thing fits after all. It looks like the same shape, but shapes can be deceptive. Any wolf knows.
Do you want me to help you get it in?
Yeah, it's just not fitting. I think. I don't know. I'm going to try. You can help.
I'll get the flat of my axe and swing it like a hammer.
Oh no!
Boom!
All right. Make a sleight of hand check at disadvantage.
Who? Oh.
It's definitely not fitting. What do you think about this approach, Jane? The boys are breaking everything.
Yeah, she'll at this point, she'll lurch forward, right, and then we'll wait, and then move over through the cone or the fucking little mushroom shit is, and then move around it, and try and once the axe is struck, if it's not pulled in quickly, she'll grab the haft for a moment. Wait, hold on, and she'll place a hand on the thing. Perhaps it needs to be readjusted, or I don't know. And she looks upon it. She looks upon the thing like it's a person. It could use. It needs something else. I don't know what. Look at it.
Are you sure? I could probably get it in with another hit.
Just wait. Just hold on. And she puts her hands on the heart for a moment, or the heart, the fucking thing.
Yeah.
The thing that's being inserted, and at this moment, she thinks of Marinus, of the love that they share, of how they have interacted before, on this like undying, like line between the two. And as she looks upon the thing, she'll like twist it around as best she can and try and like insert it or whatever.
You have advantage
Herself.
on your slaughter check.
Well, I don't think we got much, but we got.
Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, well, you know that when two hearts align, only then do they truly fit. And so you push the heart deep into the chest in the way it's meant to be. And immediately the creature is given power. And how do you respond?
So as soon as the
Tamil?
stone is inserted properly in the chest, you start hearing the kind of clank and turning of clockwork gears and mechanical parts from internal chassis of the chest piece, and then looking up and specifically at you, the creature begins to speak.
Are you my general? Where might I find my unit of rank? I desire orders.
And then he scans the room.
Ah!
Badass. That's awesome. She'll look back at this, at Kursk, and then the other.
This is marvelous. What are you?
My makers called me Almus Esper.
Which, if you speak Dwarf, means warsmithed or warforged.
Oh, yeah.
I've been created to serve an army unit at the rank of medic. Thus, my name. He
Points to his serial number.
Timol. You may call me Timol.
Timo.
The statue speak.
The statue's name is Timo?
Tamil.
Oh. Braxton's amazed. He's looking at you and thinking of how Cormier could benefit from such weapons of war in its righteous struggle against the oppressors from Sembia.
Well, it appears that you need healing. Will you allow me to heal you?
At this point, he's going to approach one step forward and lay one of his cold metal hands on the chest of the half-orc.
Oh no, I'm
I
fine.
will need your permission to assist you in the healing process. Would you please grant me permission?
Help the lady. Permission denied, as of right now.
But of course, sir. To assist the lady, I shall.
He turns around and places again his cold metal hand on the shoulder of the lady.
I will need your permission to assist you.
You're... and she looks upon you, and she looks like at your eyes, if there are eyes, and at the heart again, and then back at these so-called... the face, and your general, His Marinus Rosaline of Tilverton. A lord of Cormier.
And what are my orders then?
We share this land, Gloriana, together. As man and wife would. I protect this land and those within us. And she motions to everybody here. Together, we fight for Gloriana, for Cormier, and for Marinus. You may, if you wish, heal me. she seems kind of like, I guess, kind of careful about those words. Like she's looking at like the instruments or whatever you're about to do to her. With careful.
Okay, so at this point, you see his eyes and the chest cavity containing the heart crystal start glowing brighter yellow gold, and then you feel, and that's +3.
I feel that I have assisted you. Please let me know if there is anything else I can do. I hope that this service was appreciated.
Her bruises heal. The thing she's received from, I believe, the fall of a man much lesser, a merchant, shitty merchant, onto her.
Wow, that's no way to speak of the dead.
What she seems better, and she smiles. She smiles toward you, and thank you so much. You'll do so much for all of us.
As is my duty.
Those of you who've been like scratching around this cave, or if you begin scratching around now, you'll discover that the sacks have some valuable commodities that look like they were gathered by hand. Salt, peppercorns, leaves of tea, and poppy seeds, as well as magic mushrooms. It looks like those ingredients form the basis for the broth that is bubbling away.
Does the pot have a lid?
Yeah, sure.
Can I use it as a shield?
It is a perfectly adequate shield.
Alright, I shall take the pot lid.
Alright, it is worth 5 gold pieces.
And then I shall withdraw into my shield, into my shell to test it out.
It's very hot for the moment, but once it cools down, it should be pretty effective. And the brew keeps bubbling away, smelling quite foul. It has a heady stench to it. Yeah, heady stench indeed. Kind of makes you feel dizzy and relaxed, and like there's less cares and problems in the world, and that the colours are brighter. Eases your pain.
So what are we going to do about all of this stuff in here? How close are we to the top and to the shepherd's, whatever it is?
Yeah, fairly close. You'd be able to reach it with maybe another hour or two of climbing.
We leave it we continue on with what we were meant to do with our newfound help. If and she looks toward the turtle. The turtle? He's a turtle. Come on. And how? I guess I know as a player I know he's a turtle, but how common is that in all of Faerun? Like, is that race?
Yeah, you probably never heard of them in your life.
A dragon turtle.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, dragon turtles are more well known than these guys. History check at DC 20. That's the sort of rarity.
Okay, all right. So she looks this dragon, this turtle, this being. Would you help?
With what?
We serve our lord. We serve Marinus Rosaline. We serve a man. We serve an empire who would see these lands free of the tyranny of Orc.
I don't know who this Marinus Rosaline is, but I was on my way to fight the Orcs already.
Who sent you?
No one sent me.
Who do you fight for?
Ubo fights for Ubo.
She kind of looks at everybody else at that, kind of confused.
Well, if Uber fights for Uber,
Ubo.
Ubo. Well, if Ubo fights for Ubo, will Ubo fight for Ubo while fighting with us?
It depends what us is fighting.
Orcs.
Yeah, Ubo will fight Orcs.
And what else? There are many things in this land that are bad, that are terrible, that are monstrous.
Ubo will meet them things and decide for himself then. Why would Ubo fight something Ubo has never seen before?
You are wise. Perhaps more so than many.
Yes.
Many men. She nods at that and kind of bows her head a little bit, and I think it would, if we could, we should help.
Ubo will agree.
At this point, Tamel's gonna walk up to Uber and kind of give him a look over.
I do not recognize your species. Please stand still while scanning.
Ubo's like backpedaling, stepping back as he's approaching, like moving statue.
My database is incomplete. Please remain still while I qualify you.
Ubo shrinks back into a shell.
Identity unknown.
As much as it can, the Warforged looks confused at the turtles shrinking into the shell.
Huh.
Well, be that as it must. I will note. Large turtle person. Complete.
And then he'll walk away.
Meanwhile, out on the cliff face, Vicious, you're trying to clear your mind after this this conflict, which is too close to your home, too close to your heart. But while you inhale deep from the cigar, you become aware that the stench of what's cooking inside is something much headier, much stronger. If you really want to forget, then the ogre probably has something stronger than nicotine.
I will. You're talking about from the pot?
Yeah. It looks like she concocted some heady brew that would knock the beard off a dwarf.
I walk back inside and I kind of take a sniff. Take a closer look and take a sniff.
I guess make a survival check, perhaps. Herbalism, if you've got that instead. It's a toxic mixture, but not a lethal one. You know, like a glass of wine is technically toxic. Anyway, this is a toxic brew that would be suitable for shamans and other, people who are looking to get a deeper perspective of things, but they don't mind leaving themselves physically vulnerable while they do it. It seems to be a kind of mental resilience drink, the sort of thing that if you were to consume it, you wouldn't feel fear, or you wouldn't. People couldn't fool you. Those sort of things. It gives your brain the mental resilience of being high on drugs, while having the physical consequence of making you kind of useless.
I empty my pouch full of water, and then I dip my pouch into the cauldron, and then I take a swig.
Alright, your pain is numb, both physical and mental, and for a fairly brief period, you're left in a state of semi-euphoria, a kind of dullness, where you're still aware of the problems of the world. You haven't forgotten that Conrad died, and you haven't forgotten that you just participated in the murder of a family, and you haven't forgotten the death of your own family. But the pain is dulled, the edge is taken off, and for the next minute, you know some semblance of peace. It's a potion of stupor.
I'm gonna kind of stumble around a bit and say, yeah, come on guys, let's go murder some families.
I'll say what.
It appears that the strange stew has affected your perception.
What the fuck is that? I think I'm seeing shit now because there's a talking statue.
Vicious, this is Tamil. What?
He is our ally. Vicious.
Tamil. Oh, okay, cool. Talking statue.
I know!
My functions include a lot more than just talking statue, but if that is the name you have chosen for me, then I shall abide.
I go up
Tamil's
really close.
fine. Tamil is fine.
Tamil.
I go up really close to the to the Warforge, and my face is just really flushed and red, and I give it a hug and be like, "You're all right, man."
So the response that Tamal gives you is very, very, like, could be framed as awkward. He just kind of stands there for a second, not knowing how to respond, and then he reaches out one hand and starts patting your back.
There. I am also programmed to comfort and console, though that is not my primary function.
And then he stops patting your back.
What time of day is it?
I'm trying to remember. I think it might be mid-afternoon, late afternoon by now.
This strange man seems to be enjoying his drink. And Ubo is going to walk up to the cauldron, and rather than dipping a flask in, like Vicious did, he's just going to dunk his whole head in and take a drink.
No! You take a D4 points of burning damage. Still boiling. But nonetheless, so it's mild damage. Yeah, you get scalded and burned a little bit like a really hot, well, cup of coffee that you dip your head into. But nonetheless, you still manage to get a gulp of this fluid, and it eases the aches in your bones. It makes your shell feel as light as paper mache. And although there's a clumsiness to you, it provides a tremendous visual experience as suddenly the numbers of people around you triple and quadruple, and every time they speak, rainbows come out of their mouth.
I would warn against inserting your hand directly into the hot stew. Results could be burning and other such sensations. Please allow me to restore your skin to its proper condition.
Then the Warforged is going to go up and just kind of like, if the turtle allows, touch the hand and try and bandage it up. Not actually casting a spell, but treat the burn.
Oh, it was his face. He dipped his head in there.
Oh, sorry, my bad. My bad.
Ubo is kind of spacing out at this point. Rather than even acknowledging that, he kind of sits down backwards, ends up on his shell, and is kind of just lying there.
You feel like you're spinning. You feel like someone's grabbed you by the tail and they're just making you go round and round and round and round.
Well...
I go up to the dead ogre mother corpse and I kind of just lay down with her and hug her and say, I miss you, Mom.
She bleeds all over you. She's still warm, but wet. Braxton kind of wants to get out of here, like, now. He didn't mind this place a few minutes ago, but it's like, it's a lot creepier now that the ogres are dead, ironically. And he's just going to go up and keep an eye out. And encourages everyone to hurry up.
Let's go! We have much to do.
Alright. Oh, can someone help me up?
Alright. What? Come on.
Thank you.
Alright. So if you leave the cave now and climb up the rest of the mountain, you should make it to Shepherd Rock by nightfall, hopefully. And is that your plan to get there at nightfall?
Yep. I guess.
All right. Sounds like that's the plan. Is that movement translating onto this new map? Because I can still see the lines.
Yeah, I can still see it too.
But there's no movement, is there?
Those drugs really got to him.
He's walked. The highest I saw was 800 miles.
I've never seen something like that before.
He just went completely Roadrunner.
Let's see if that got rid of it. Good. Okay, cool. Interesting. All right. And so yeah, we've you leave the ogre's cave. The stew continues to boil over in our absence until it goes dry, I guess. And you make your way up the rest of the mountain until reaching the cliffs. Now, when you're probably about half a mile away, the sun is beginning to set, and you can hear the orcs beginning to wake up, I suppose, beginning to increase their activity. And now that you're up here on the mountain, within, half a mile, darkness is beginning to fall, and any advantage that you might have is probably beginning to vanish. Up here on the cliff face, there's very few places to hide. There's the odd bush and rock and boulder, but that's not going to be much use against orcs as they go on patrols and scouts and the like. So, whether you anticipated it to be this way, or whether you've just blindly stumbled into this without any actual strategy, you've turned up at one of the worst moments you could possibly arrive. There's no cover, there's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to go, it's getting dark, and the orcs are only just reaching, what's going to be the most active part of their life cycle, the night. What do you do? Are you going to quickly rush Shepherd's Hill and try to catch them unawares in the dying rays of twilight? Are you going to hide among scrawny bushes and gullies that can't possibly protect you? Are you going to try to climb back down a mountain in the dark? Are you going to sit here in the cold without a fire and freeze? Or are you going to light a fire so that you attract them? Did you think this through?
Of course we did, but what?
Okay, good.
How many orcs are there?
Oh, you haven't checked it out yet. It's getting dark, and sending a scout is definitely a concept, an idea, but you don't know. What you do know is that there's enough of them that they have besieged an entire settlement.
Why don't we start with using the darkness to sneak into the settlement?
Let me. I'll go. I can see. Frictus, see. He shows me.
That's good, because I can't.
Right. So that looks like Jane's heading off into the darkness by herself.
And that, Lord Marinus, was the last time we saw her.
We assume that we assume that you will accept her half-orc bastards.
Knew that's where that was going. Come on, Arctic.
I'm still learning the party names. Is Jane the one that I healed at the beginning?
Yes.
Yes.
And she's the one wandering off? Because I want to follow her if she's wandering off.
The brightly lit clunking machine offers to help.
Please allow me to assist you if you are going on a scouting mission. It is dangerous at night, and I do not think you have the required skill set to survive on your own.
I don't.
Burn.
But I must. I'm the only one who can.
You're not the only one who can see, but what? It's just, I'm clanky. What?
I can help if you want some help.
We have to be quiet. It has to be quick. I just need to see how many there are. We can choose to retreat or stay after. Does anyone have a horn? An instrument?
I have a flute. What?
A flute?
You asked for an instrument, what?
Oh, Uber has a pot lid.
A what?
If you take the flute and you beat the pot lid, you've got an instrument. Bang, bang.
Or, wait, no, it's the pot lid, it's not the pot.
I will come back. We will come. One of us will come back. Should we need help?
Wait, why don't we just set a fire here and then attract them here, and while they're scouting out here, we sneak around them and into the settlement?
There could be more. We could send more.
We'll set a bunch of fires. What?
A trap?
No, just a deception. What?
Okay.
Well, maybe that's not such a great idea, but what? They can clearly... It's not like... never mind, what? You go on. We'll wait for you, what?
Alright.
She seems reinstilled with courage.
As the sun sets in the west over the goblin marches, and indeed all the way over the Sword Coast, darkness begins to fall on the stone lands, the heat of the day vanishing quickly, be replaced by the chill of the night. Bats take to the sky, and crickets replace songbirds. Jane begins to sneak ahead, her superior dark vision providing what she needs to perform this mission. You have advantage on your stealth roll.
Which is good. I can see 120 feet. We're good, baby.
We got it. Alright. You managed to get close enough to be able to get a good look at the situation of the camp. And you can see it from multiple angles over the course of about 10 or 15 minutes and get a really strong assessment of the force. It's much smaller than perhaps you'd anticipated, but they still seem to have been a very effective plug for this siege. So this is Shepherd Rock, as it's known. It's a kind of... it's really a place where you can see for miles in all directions. So it serves as a kind of an outpost or a watchtower, a natural vantage point. But the settlement itself is a cave which lies to the east of this road. The cave mouth being just out of view. The orcs have the cave plugged up, though, the males. What can only be the chief, the largest of them, the size of an ogre, is served by a number of other orcs, 8, 9, 10, something like that. And each of the males, you notice, are missing one eye. They've had they've had their eye torn out, presumably in a ritual dedicated to their god Grumsh. Entirely separate from that group of males, separated by some craggy hills and some thick foliage, is the lone female who has both of the tents and is protected by a large wolf, by a dire wolf, big shaggy grey beast. And yeah, the female looks like she's living a fairly comfortable life, as far as one can in a tent in the mountains. She has good meat and she's drinking from a flask, and she appears to be quite relaxed as she engages in meditation, and her direwolf keeps watch. But the males, on the other hand, are grunting and panting and just basically completely focused and intent on the cave mouth that they're kind of protecting. So yeah, Jane's able to look at this scenario over a course of 15 minutes before she heads back. Is there anything that you want to know beyond this, Jane?
I recognize this, Arctic. I see through your random maps. Illusion. I will. No, I don't think there is now.
This cliff is, of course, lethal. If anything were to fall off it, then
Jesus Christ.
it would be a drop to make Conrad blush.
Where's the cliff?
Oh,
to the west. If you scroll to the west, it should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't think there's a. Not at this moment. No.
And which way are we approaching from?
You'll be coming from the north, from the top. This lower section, this browner section, is much easier terrain than the greener section. The greener section is both rougher and covered more with foliage and underbrush and the likes. So it'll provide you a lot more cover, but it'll be but it's also just difficult to travel through. All right. So Jane's able to accurately, give you the details of the map, and with Braxton being the tactical person that he is, suggests that we come up with some sort of strategy, some sort of tactic from which to approach. Because this battle, if one orc for each of us, that, the way he sees it, that's 50-50. We'll probably lose one for every one that they lose as well, particularly if they've got a war chief and a shaman and a wolf. Well, he doesn't want to say it, but he feels like we're outmatched.
Luckily for us, they're split up a bit. What? If we could rush the shaman and the wolf and take them out, I think we will have significantly evened our odds. Or gained an advantage at least. What? As long as we can defeat them in detail, we might be able to pull this off. What? You do know what defeat in detail means, right? What?
No, could you explain that for me?
Divide and conquer. What?
Are you talking about like hitting?
Split them up and then concentrate your force on each individual part.
I mean, it makes sense.
Luckily for us, their melee troops are quartered off from the shaman and the wolf, so it might take them a little bit of time. We might buy some time dealing with them. We could get lucky and take care of them before the melee troops come in. And then we can I feel confident about our ability to take off just a couple of orcs. It's the war chief we have to worry about, what, and the shaman, of course, but if we can all concentrate on her, then we can get her out of the way, what. Any other ideas, what?
Well, if orcs are mostly active at night, does that mean they're sleeping more during the day?
Yes, but what?
I say, whenever we do this plan, I guess we try to catch them with their pants down and do it while at least some of them sleeping so we get the jump on them.
Well, we'd have to wait until sunrise, and I don't know how much longer those people in those caves have.
Wait. How? These orcs, there are so many, right? There are so many. Do they expect to truly be opposed on this mountaintop when they feel strong? When they feel unopposed? When they feel unmatched? Now is the time to strike. When they least expect it. At their strongest.
I'm not sure about the logic of that, but I agree with her nonetheless. What?
And you are half orc. That says as much.
What does my being a half orc have to do with this? What?
You understand them.
No, I don't. What?
But you feel them.
No, I don't. What?
Nevertheless, I think we should strike now.
And I agree. What? Ubo, Tamil, Braxton, Vicious.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this plan, but whatever the group does, I guess I'm gonna have to join in anyway, either way.
I will follow any orders given me. I am not programmed to make decisions without orders.
It's a very sad existence. What?
I do not know the meaning of sad.
I repeat my previous statement. What?
Your sentiment is acceptable.
Alright, when Jane gets back, if you guys are approaching, you can place yourself anywhere on the northern edge of the map, whether it's anywhere basically. I suggest not placing yourself off the cliff; you'll fall to your death. No, you can put yourself either in the heavy foliage or the lighter section, or the higher, rougher area. It's up to you. It's fairly well illuminated around here. The orcs have begun a corroboree, a kind of a ceremonial dance and ritual throughout the night, and they're singing a song that you might have heard before, actually. It goes something like this, and they're chanting away and getting all excited. They've got fires stoked all over the place, providing a tremendous amount of illumination. Although there's lots of shadows as well, but basically in the vicinity of both groups of orcs, there's a lot of fire as the shaman undertakes rituals and meditations, and the war chief leads the chants, the ceremonies.
Are they singing this in Dwarvish or Common? Or not Dwarvish, sorry, in Orc or Common?
Orc.
Okay, so only... Yeah, no. Perfect.
We've heard it before, and we've translated it to those of us who speak Orcish.
I sit up on top a high point.
Yeah.
I got my crossbow loaded. Kind of signal to the others. Just waiting for them to give me the signal back to fire or whatever.
The direwolf sniffs the air and growls, but it's looking around in no particular direction. You don't think it sees anyone, but it just has that preternatural sense of danger. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Braxton can be up there.
I'm gonna cover myself with some dirt and mud, try to blend in with the rock the best I can.
Yeah, no worries. You basically will begin the encounter hidden.
So I don't know if it's wiser to go. Where's Jane?
Oh, my bad. Hold on. I got you. Or not. What the fuck? Behind you, bro.
Who?
You.
Ah, okay. So I don't know if it's wiser to start off with a volley or to just rush in.
A volley. It's
Yeah, that's what I was
better
thinking.
to hit people as much as you can before you go in. It's just how it works.
Alright, so I guess Braxton and Vicious let loose and we'll charge.
I don't know if I can hit her from here. Yeah. The question. Well, I'm not gonna ask you what to hit. I'm gonna hit.
90. Yeah, don't worry about the wolf.
So we're all rolling initiative now?
Are we doing surprise round? What are we doing?
Even with the 5e rolls, you still have to roll initiative before making a surprise round.
Okay, I guess Arctic, are we rolling initiative?
Yeah. No? Those fucking orcs.
No, they're not aware of you, no.
Because, yeah, in 5e, there's no such thing as a surprise round. There's a surprise condition.
Condition.
Oh! Yes!
It's on.
Our players got so mad at that. It was pretty funny.
Oh, I have grumps. Uh-oh. Is that a boar, not a wolf?
No, that's the name of the tribe.
Ah. Alright, coming into this, I've got my 2 hand axes drawn.
Okay. Yeah, so, I guess, You can either describe the positioning you've got, or just begin the assault.
Yeah, I think Braxton and Vicious are letting loose that volley that they rolled before.
You'll have to re-roll that volley.
Okay. It's a surprise round, right?
No, such a thing doesn't exist in 5e. There's no such thing. These people are surprised. It's a hit. Also a hit.
And y'all were both aiming at the shaman.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm totally confused here. Why are they shooting now?
Yeah, like...
I don't know. Yeah. Since there's no surprise round, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's right. It's not
Like, it's a surprise condition, so the enemies don't act on this round, but you still follow initiative order.
Okay. So it's my turn.
Yeah.
I guess I'm double dash.
Yeah. So yeah, but you can begin.
So what were you going to say?
The way I tend to begin surprise rounds, or the way I tend to begin combat is with a trigger. And so there's an event that starts the whole thing. So yeah, you can fire a shotgun, for example. Or in this case, firing an arrow. But you can't have two people firing an arrow. And you can't have someone doing two things. What you've basically got is like there's a trigger. And that triggers the initiative. So, like, Vicious can fire, or Braxton can fire, or Curse can roar, or the wolf can howl. And in this case, to take all sort of, advantages and disadvantages away, we'll go back to the stealth roll that Vicious made before. And we'll give the wolf a perception check against that stealth roll. And so the wolf starts growling, and it howls. And while Vicious and Braxton are lining up their arrows, and the wolf lets out its howl, Kursk, you have the opportunity to act if you choose to do so.
Yeah, I'll double dash down towards the priestess.
Okay.
And I guess I scream a charge.
The challenge echoes and is heard throughout the eastern storm.
Ubo shall move forward and throw his andi.
You have disadvantage at that range, presumably?
Yes, I do.
Alright. They both fly astray and land somewhere on the opposite side of the fire.
And I'll draw my shield.
There comes a grunt and a roar, a confused sound, as the orcs try to understand what's going on. Jay.
Let me see. So I haven't seen her that far. Does she have cover?
Yeah.
Or anything like that?
Yeah. +2 to her armor class.
Fuck. She's gonna die. Yeah, again, her eyes are clouded in this milky darkness, and she screams out, "You cannot hide from me!" And she shoots this flame. Hopefully. Oh, no.
And your firebolt sets fire to the tent.
It's a... Oh, I lied. I lied to you. I'm going to go 30 feet. That's
Mr. Vicious, you've had these guys lined up for a while, but when the wolf howls, Kursk act. What do you do?
I shall take my shot at the shaman.
It's an accurate blow. And she grunts with pain as the arrow drives deep into her chest. She seems shocked, but the wolf seems anguished. The orcs leap to their feet, confused. Right?
I'm a Cormyrean, and I shall shoot at the shaman.
A very accurate Cormyrean you are. She now has 2 arrows lodged in her breast. And she looks down at them, grabs them and rips them out, causing the blood flow to come out further. But she's still reeling with surprise, still trying to understand what's going on. And the wolf who was aware of the approach of Vicious and Braxton, sees the orc come into the light, the illumination further provided by the burning tent, and out of instinct, it charges towards him and leaps upon him, its jaws attempting to close around his throat.
Miss.
Not a chance. And you're now wrestling with this great 250-pound canine. Tamal, the war has begun, and you have been left behind.
Okay, so at this point, Tamal is going to rush up to his companions.
Do either of you require my assistance or healing? If not, I shall proceed.
You don't have time to, stop and ask those sort of questions. You've got like 6 seconds to do your round.
Yeah, that's all I do.
No worries.
I mean, I guess good dash action, but I feel like he would at this point try and assist people rather than rushing in as a frontliner.
Excellent, excellent. First, that leaves you alone to deal with the great thing.
And I will do the best I can by sinking my glaive into it.
But the wolf has your measure, and it bites you around the arm, forcing you to flail with unclean and unmeasured blows. You cannot bring your weapon to bear. Ubo, the apparently grey.
I shall draw my battle axe as part of my movement and attack. And Ubo shall rage.
He is filled with rage, knowing that one day mammals will inherit the earth. Pro tip, it happened 30,000 years ago. You have successfully driven your axe into this wolf. What part of its body did you target?
Its head.
Brutal. Brutal indeed. And as you split open its skull, the wolf fights on violently, and you wrench out the weapon, exposing the brain and bone beneath.
Oh. Oh, that's disgusting.
Roar! They're attacking! The orc yells in his native tongue. Starting. 1, 2, 3. The orcs begin crashing through the underbrush, but the thickness of the wood is slowing their advance.
Jane moves over 30 feet. I'm not to see the woman. I can see you. The male voice calls out again. And she casts Fire.
All right. But she is protected by magical auras provided by the paint that she has coating her body, and Grumsh's blessing keeps her safe from your shadow magic.
Lucky bit. It's an action.
Vicious.
Another shot at the shaman, but I'm assuming that miss.
It will indeed. Or more accurately, it will strike her, but the protection of her god will keep her safe.
Son of a bitch.
The orcs begin to crash through the underbrush, intent upon their prey. Braxton. Cormyrian Baby Killer.
Oh, sorry, I almost forgot I was controlling for a second. Oop. And that set the shot.
Damn. Someone does something right. The NPC. Alright, it's a very accurate blow, and she even as she's just removed a pair of arrows from her chest, there's another one that is now inserted, and she curses with anger, and assesses the situation. It sees that it is quite grim. Cast spiritual weapon at the at Kursk, but it's not going to hit. The spear of Grumsh does not land true, and with a curse she considers her actions again, panic rising up in her eyes. And she flees. Taking refuge behind the full cover provided by the tent. Alright. Meanwhile, the wolf continues its assault on Kursk.
Yeah, that'll hit.
and it tries to use its weight to knock him to the ground.
Strength saving throw.
That's
Yeah.
right. Oh, but you have wrestled beasts far larger than this one, and you're almost as heavy as it. So it has little advantage, though it may be longer. There's not much more heavy. And Tamal, you can see that the battle continues to advance without you.
He's gonna quickly ask permission to heal the orc, and ready in action to do so as a reaction. And that will be my turn.
Okay, cool.
Do it. What?
Am I allowed to reaction heal then?
You can.
That's +3 as well, so 13 total.
I only needed 8. Gracias.
Out of my control.
All right. Yeah, he's not gonna let her get away, so he's gonna run after her. He's not gonna disengage.
Okay.
So he'll take the attack of opportunity.
He snaps at your heels. Make a strength saving.
Inspiration.
Okay. And it almost trips you up, but you stumble and tumble and somersault and keep going. And it's magnificent.
Yep. And I will dash to get. Hold on. Yeah, I'll get here. 10 feet away from her.
No worries, that's the spiritual weapon.
And with my bonus action, I will second wind.
Does the spiritual weapon get a bonus reaction? I don't think it does it?
No.
It attacks what she sees, right?
No, it doesn't have a reaction. It's just a bonus action every round.
My question is, does she have to see what she's attacking?
No, it doesn't state that.
Okay. So it was -9. And there. Okay.
Excellent. You are
And with my action surge, I will take a swipe at her.
excellent. Okay, it's a brutal strike, and but you've arrived only shortly after she's blessed herself with Grumsh's healing. So the worst of the arrow wounds were recovered by the time you've arrived, but you've left her in a more perilous state. Uber.
Stop ignoring Uba. Uba is going to reckless attack.
Reckless
12.
indeed.
And I guess that does not hit.
There's not. The orc chieftain continues to crash through the underbrush. And then when he finally sees his target, he gives out a bestial roar and surges forward with anger.
It's a really hard choice.
She's in full cover from you.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Alright. I will not be blinded! The voice shouts again, yet again, and then fires toward this thing 75 feet away.
Bam! You burn through his skin, and with a grunt, he barely even noticed it.
Huh. It's hot out today.
That's my hold on, I'll probably move a little bit. That's probably a good idea. Let's see, we're gonna move 30 feet this way. These fuckers.
Vicious.
I fire at the chieftain and fucking miss.
Indeed you do. Make a dexterity saving throw. You almost tumble down the ledge, but you manage to keep your footing. The orc infantry crash through the underbrush and see their enemy and let out a bestial cry, and with Grumsh's blessing they surge forward.
And Braxton will yell for Cormier and fire at the chieftain.
Alright, and it strikes him in the chest. But he grunts and seems to shrug off the blow. The orc, the shaman, turns to the half-orc which hunts her, and she grunts and says, "Your alliance with the Pinkskins will solidify your doom." And she steps out away from some of the cover of the tent. It's still partly hidden, but partly exposed. And she delivers all the fury of a blow that Grumsh can supplement. With her spear held in two hands, she drives it into your belly.
With a miss.
I don't understand how the damage is so high. Oh, because of Grumsh fury. And yeah, the weapon is blessed with the power of the orc god, but not the accuracy that he needs. She uses a bonus action to direct her weapon 5 foot towards the turtle. It makes a strike. 11 will miss, surely.
Yeah.
Alright. The direwolf has snapped at the orc as it runs away. But then when it sees that its master or mistress is in trouble, it simply abandons the turtle. You get an attack of opportunity as it doesn't disengage, it just runs straight for you.
Alright.
It's a hit. 12 damage. It's a crippling wound, but it doesn't break its bones or its spirit, and so the creature keeps moving. And I'm not sure if it can reach or not, so I'll check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't get that. And then it takes its bonus or its action to dash and get into a flanking position. Tamil.
Sorry for guys, I'm pushed to talk. Is there any way that I can grant disadvantage on this next spiritual weapon attack against as my action towards my Toro companion?
No, not
shield him, like shield him so that I take the attack instead of him.
It's a class ability for certain classes.
No, okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
So, you can attempt to do that, but there's no guarantee it can work. But you can attempt it, yeah.
Okay. Tamil's gonna try and stand as best he can in front of the turtle and take the dodge action.
No worries. So what? To specify, since every action needs a trigger, what will be your trigger, and what will be the action that you take at that trigger?
I'm just getting into the dodge stance, readying my shield to try and put myself in between the blade and the spiritual weapon and the turtle. Okay,
that's fine, but it's two different things. So you can't take the dodge action and hold your action.
No, as a response to your ruling that I can't try and block him, I'm going to just take the dodge action as my action. The rest was flavor.
No worries.
So I'm actually just dodge action.
Okay, cool. Curse.
Sorry for the confusion.
Not a problem at all, man. It's good to clarify. Don't worry about it. It's really no problem.
Alright, seeing that he's in this little flanked position, he doesn't like that too much, so he'll take a 5-foot step, staying in both of their reach, but getting out of that flanked position. And he will take a strike at the shaman.
Rippling. But is it enough? No. You open another wound in her belly and she grunts, but Grumsh gives her strength. Ubo, these orcs are the pace that they move. You've seen the way orcs sprint. They sprint like tabaxi. They sprint like leopards. They're incredibly fast people.
Ubo is going to dash and put himself between the shaman and the wolf.
Alright, no worries. The spiritual weapon watches as you go by. The orc sees its quarry and rushes forward, not knowing what the Warforged is, but knowing enough about Gollum to see him as the enemy. Okay. Orcs have a power called aggressive. Their bonus action, they take a movement towards their opponent. He then takes his movement and engages the enemy. This huge towering orc covered in red and blue and black paint, painted over its face and over its chest and its muscles. It rages and lifts up a huge jagged blade, and with two hands it attempts to carve this monstrosity of metal in twain. But it's a clumsy blow, one not worthy of a chieftain, and it misses. Check.
Jane of Water Street.
Jane!
This is getting harder to decide what I want to do. Alright. We're going for the one. What am I at now? She in cover? Or she from where?
From
Doesn't
you,
seem
nothing
like
at
it.
all. Yeah, you've got a perfect clear shot on it.
Alright, she's done. She's done. I see you now. Maybe. Is that it? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a roasting. Oh, interesting. Very, very, very interesting. You roast her and burn her, and you knock her into the tent. And the tent collapses and wraps up around her, encasing her like some mummy. And she struggles for a while, and then seems to stop.
she's an orc. She's got that sneaky little shit. I forgot about that. Fucking orcs. I will move a little bit. And let's see, they're coming from here. How far away they're? This is hard.
Spiritual weapon vanishes.
We're gonna move 30 feet after that. And that is it.
Alright, vicious.
Aim at the chieftain.
Bam! Your crossbow sinks into his flesh with ease. Protected though he is, he doesn't have the blessings that the shaman does. He grunts to look down, but it doesn't slow him.
Am I able to yell something at the same time?
Yeah, sure.
As I take the shot, I'm gonna look to the construct and yell, "You have to fight!" And that's the end of my turn.
Am I allowed to respond, or do I wait till my turn to say a response?
You can say a response, yeah. Go ahead.
Order received.
Awesome. Alright, Braxton. Yeah, you'll go.
For Cormier! At the chieftain!
Yeah. Bam! It's an excellent hit, but not enough to bring the creature low, though it does grunt and sway and seem to be losing a lot of its life force. But it may be too late, for the orc hordes are upon us. With their aggressive maneuver, they rush forward, seeing that there are multiple opponents, but they love their shaman, they love their chieftain. They'll split their party. It's the orcish thing to do. So these orcs use their aggressive maneuver to come forward, and then they engage their targets. Hurling their javelins at Kursk, while the other two fight hand to hand with the turf. Ooh, shit.
Still up? Fuck. At least he has resistance.
Those two were against the turtle.
Yeah, he has resistance because he's raging.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Gotta be a fucking tank, apparently.
The wolf.
So that's 31, half 15. Fuck, that's a lot.
It is a lot. And here comes the wolf's attack.
Against 2. Doesn't matter.
Against the turtle. Amal.
Tamal's gonna assume a very dwarven defensive stance, raising his shield over top of, or spear over top of his shield, making a swift spear attack at the goblin or the orc that has just approached.
Beautiful.
Finally,
I forgot the other orcs. I forgot the orcs that were chasing you. I just did the first half and didn't go for these ones. All right. My apologies. You are surrounded by orcs. They want for your blood, so all they will find is oil.
okay, so it's called a mace for some reason, but it should be a spear since I selected spear. But,
No worries. Well, let's just see if you're alive before you take your go.
Sorry, no, that's fine.
It's my mistake. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack.
If this was before his round, they should all have disadvantage, right?
Excellent. You're absolutely
Not
right.
a single one of those hit.
Beautiful, absolute beautiful. So you see him so you guys see the war machine born. He might have been, I don't know the word to describe him when you met him, but when you see him in combat, he is indestructible.
Is it right if I do a different move now that I see myself surrounded?
Absolutely. No, by all means, do so.
So now I'm going to take the action to go back into dodge because that worked well for him last time, and he's just going to cast as a bonus action Healing Word on the turtle because that's right within range. So that's 8 points of healing. It's not much, but that's my turn.
Hursk, as you wonder if this might be your doom, as a pair of javelins suddenly launch out of nowhere and strike you close to your heart. Your heart, what remains of it, sinks to hear the crashing sound of some great number of creatures smashing their way through the underbrush from whence the orcs had previously come. You have no vision to it. We were only relying on the intelligence reports provided to us by Jane earlier. As far as we knew, these were all the orcs, but their crashing sound can be heard through the underbrush. Does this distract you? Change your tactics?
No, he's pretty desperate at this point. But, yeah, he doesn't see a way out of this, so he's gonna take out this shaman with him.
Alright, the shaman is like...
Step.
Yep, no worries.
He's gonna step. He probably gets an attack of opportunity from the direwolf.
He does.
That hits. And I'm dropped to 0, and Relentless Endurance, Relentless Endurance activates.
Uh-huh.
So a strength saving throw.
Oh, you'd be prone anyway when you drop to 0.
Ah, fuck. Okay. But I'm back at 1.
But you're back at 1.
So would I use, like, half my movement to stand up?
Yes.
Okay. And since I have a glaive, 10-foot reach into the tent.
Yep.
Is she prone?
Sure is.
Fuck yes.
She is dead, and you have failed your secondary objective. Ubo.
Ubo is going to retreat into his shell.
Excellent.
We were supposed to bring her back alive?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't want to say anything because Ubo has never been to camp.
And
So
I did
yeah,
post
that
the
permission.
entire quest line in the chat so that people could
Yeah.
read it again, but
Yeah.
never mind. The Gladius of Gloriana shall not be ours. Ubo.
Life might not be ours.
So yeah, that's my action.
Ah, sorry, yeah, you go into your shell, yeah, thanks. Alright. There comes the crashing sound from within the bushes. And some new combatants enter the fray.
Wait.
Led by a one-eyed woman. The majority of the soldiers are boys. Though there are a few girls and wounded old men among them. This valiant force charges forward for Cormia! The chief is momentarily distracted. And he says to the orcs, "They've broken free! And deal with this one!" Commands his own orcs to keep engaging the Warforged while he rushes towards his opponent. Do you use your reaction, Mr. Warforged?
Of course I would.
Alright, you have disadvantage on the attack due to your dodge. No, is that correct? No, that's not right. No, that's not right. You don't have disadvantage at all. That's not. I'm getting reckless attack.
I've been.
Mixed up. Beautiful. It wouldn't matter anyway, and you drive your spear into this creature's back.
It's one-handed because of the shield.
Beautiful. And he grunts but ignores it and charges towards his new prey. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he reaches her and unleashes with all his fury. Raw, raw, raw. The woman screams and squeals. But she holds her ground.
Alright, here we go, homeboy. Give me a cone. Give me a cone from this position. I just need to see if it actually hits all these fuckers. I'm sorry, homeboy.
It should.
You must endure.
You're gonna burn your hands with a lot of them.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You have to move to that position, though, right?
Yeah, she does. She does have to move to that position.
Yeah,
Or
so
alternatively, this position. That would also work.
and then fucking just blow them.
Alright, Tamal, you may make a dexterity saving throw. I think you have advantage because you're dodging, is that right?
Dodge, I believe so, actually. Let me just look it up real quick.
I think so.
No, I don't
No?
think so.
Is that not correct? I thought it was. It might just be like
It doesn't matter. I'm not a dexterity.
Yes.
not gonna happen.
When you make the dodge action, you focus entirely on avoiding attacks. Until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage if you can see the attacker, and you make dexterity saving throws with advantage.
Thought so.
It doesn't help.
It's okay.
Doesn't help.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Does not help. Alright, so only and in this case
Fail though.
yeah, that's right. Only these front two fail. So Yeah, so what's the damage?
Well,
9.
9 damage.
Okay, 9 full or 4. Alright, they're all still alive, but they're on fire.
Jen,
DM, do you round up or down for damage? So am I taking 5 or 4 damage here?
The rules are round down. And there's,
everything in D&D rounds down except for a wizard's arcane recovery, which rounds.
Yeah.
Alright, we move 20 feet. We're gonna now move, we're gonna move 10 feet.
Yeah.
Jen just stripped health off of our only remaining frontliner. We're all dead.
Hey, I'm the only one that can do AoE, dude. Like, I'm trying. That's my action.
Alright. Alright, Vicious.
To the chieftain.
Bam. Ooh. Ah, he groans and grunts and he yells at you in Orcish and tells you to stop. Do you stop?
I yell back in Orcish, you surrender now and you won't have to die.
These orcs each look at each other and they think it's probably a really good idea. Never! Grumsh is watching!
And then Braxton says,
Braxton is here. Braxton is here.
Here.
Tim, it's do you let Billy control your character for one more moment? Is he even here?
He's in chat.
He's
in the
just
game.
lighting up, but he's not talking. Tim.
He's not talking.
Alright, I'm here, sorry.
There he is.
I had myself muted.
No worries. This is you, Braxton. And this is our massacre. We're gonna die.
except
But-
us, we're safe.
Except you guys yourself.
Alright.
Billy was intending to kill this chieftain who is severely wounded and has just been engaged by the very people we've come to rescue, it would seem.
We have come to
Alright.
rescue us.
Yeah.
Well, let's try that.
Okay.
I'm assuming nothing to grant me advantage or anything, just normal shots.
It certainly is. And his armor class is 10. He has bad dexterity, but he is protected by Grumsh's magic war paint. But Grumsh abandons him. Moment.
Yay! Oh wait, shit.
The orcs are terrified. They're on fire. Their shaman is dead. Their chieftain is dead. They're suddenly surrounded. They make morale check. They're holding. The orcs are holding. They will die for the cause. They unleash upon the robot.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing that I was going to say.
You still got stuff? Yep.
Well, Billy? Did you use my action surge yet?
He has not.
I didn't even know you had that.
You have that too. You're a fighter, right? You have that too.
I forgot
Yes,
I had that.
yes, I am.
Oh
Excellent.
my God, Billy.
There's so many action surges available.
2 out of 3 are available.
I couldn't use
So,
that.
What will you do, Braxton?
So I will. I'm assuming we're up high somewhere here.
Sure are. That's right.
How much higher are we?
Maybe
out of
20
curiosity.
feet. Yeah, about 20 feet. Not that much higher, but it's elevated.
Really high.
Okay.
man.
Well, yeah, that's another story, though. Let's not talk about the broth just yet.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, not yet.
Anyway, I'll just take a shot at that. That closest one that succeeded on the save.
Yeah. Didn't get so badly burned. But that will finish him anyway. All right, and now that they see that they're that even those among them are dying, their morale checks are made at disadvantage. So I'll re-roll them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time only one of them has the gusto. Hold for Grunch! But the other ones, they're running. They're like getting out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What about these guys down here?
Those guys, yeah. I'll give them rolls as well. Help me! Help me!
Really? The guys down there are like
They're pretty
overwhelming.
They're pretty good. They're doing pretty good.
But they did just see their shaman's head get chopped off.
Yeah, they don't have disadvantage.
You're down for that now.
Yeah, so
I'm at 1 hit point. I'm at 1 hit point.
But you're on the ground as far as they know, yeah. You're not even conscious as far as they would be aware.
No, I stood back up, remember, and I killed her.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you stood back up and you killed her. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Alright, so morale checks without... starting from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So ironically, it's these ones who've just thrown their spears. Maybe it's because they realise that they're not engaged yet, that they still have the chance to get away. And they use that chance to flee fast as their little orcish legs carry them. Which I think is all the way off the map. Yeah, it is.
They can only use that when running towards enemies.
You're absolutely right. It's aggressive. It's not cowardice. They're not kobolds. So Grunch will not give them the speed burst they need to run away. These two, however, turn one just killed the shaman. Surely that's got to be the most important quarry. But this one can't easily reach, so they split their attack, with the first one attacking Kursk and the second attacking the turtle.
This might be farewell. It's farewell. Wait, which was the first attack?
10.
Was that against me?
Yeah.
Yes, he misses.
And then the 24 hits the turtle.
Yes, it hits my AC of 23.
Oh, really?
Yeah!
That's hilarious.
God.
Are you still raging, or did that drop because you turned away?
I dropped even while raging.
Oh, okay.
Because I was on 5.
I thought you were on 6.
Oh.
No, I did the last one right. That's what I was just checking then.
Ah, right.
I mean, wrong?
Alright, yeah, I thought that you might have been wrong.
Shit.
The wolf leaps towards Kursk.
Fuck. I forgot about the damn wolf. Oh, he misses. He is fighting.
Oh, sorry. This orc hasn't fought. He forgot to strike as well, so this orc is on Tamil. There we go. The one remaining orc that has faith in Grumsh delivers an absolutely devastating, brutal blow for 17 points of damage on top of whatever you suffered last round. You might not have adjusted your hit points. So how much damage have you taken in total now?
I took 9 from the last salvo, and then that 17 is going to put me down.
You are mangled. The orc is triumphant, and he rushes towards Jane.
Oh, actually, sorry to backtrack, but I was in a dodge action.
You were. Excellent. And so what should have been a brutal blow misses by an inch and creates spark.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, not at all, man. It's all good. It's
Creating space. Thank you, God.
good to get it now. Alright, Kursk.
Do I lose my turn then?
It was. Sorry. Yeah, no, I skipped right over you. Yeah, so it's your go. Do that.
I'm going to. Is Curse gone down, or did the wolf miss his attack?
No, I'm still up, but Ubo is down.
Okay. I'm going to... Sorry about this, I just gotta measure it. Okay. I'll do it anyways. I'll use my Channel Divinity action and give myself just 3 points or 2 points, and then channel the last 7 points into the turtle.
Okay, first, there's two problems with that. You'll take an attack of opportunity from leaving this.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's
And the
fine.
second one is that I don't think so you can do it over within 30 feet. Cool. I thought it was a touch, but it's a life domain thing.
Yeah, I'm taking the attack of opportunity to flee the range. I was one space down. Yeah.
No worries. He's going to miss you with your metal chassis, I imagine. You must have a higher armor class than 12, right?
I've got a 20. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so reaching out and you're able to cause the turtle's heart to start again.
Yeah. I don't know if it's important, but I use the stone that they placed in my chest as my source of channeling divinity.
Awesome.
So it glows bright yellow, and my eyes glow as well.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's all I've got. So,
Kursk, in spite of everything, you're still standing.
Yeah. By miracles, but I'm done testing miracles, so I will disengage and run away.
No worries.
30 feet. This way.
You are all alone.
Ubo will disengage and run this way.
Alright.
Do you have to stand up?
Yes.
No, Ubo will go back
There's
inside the
half
shell.
movement.
He's like full turtle mode now on the ground. Helena charges. For come here! 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. A bit more. 7, 8, 9, 10. And straight over the tent and crashes into the opponents. Chief is dead. Jane.
Jane's eyes continued to cloud over. He came in from the wilderness, seeking out his purpose. He came to the village to look upon the people. He came to the tower to view its master, and he went through the door. And he looked out over the rods and the whips, the screws and the racks, the chains and the shackles, the maiden's casket, the wheel. He smelt the fear in the air, and he saw the blood on the floor, and he said, I know my enemy. And they all learned chains could be broken. And she charges forth, I think, probably there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right there. And casts flame hands or the
Alright.
burning hand.
No worries. Okay. You blast a jettison of flame and it consumes the pair of orcs.
And Ubo.
Ubo, look, you're strong.
That's a disadvantage.
I think you're
What's your spell save?
13.
Isn't it advantage?
No,
Disadvantage.
Dex is disadvantage.
But
He's not
because
dodging.
you're
He's
on the
in
ground.
He's in his shell, too.
Oh, you're not dodging, you're in your shell. Right.
But does 13 meets it beats it? Because his
Yeah.
is-
What's the DC? Is it 13 or 14?
13, yeah, it's
Oh, he's
13.
got it right there.
Okay.
13.
6 damage. So you're on 1
I
again.
got 7.
Goodness gracious. But the orcs are roasting.
Only one left.
That is it from me.
The wolf tries to eat the turtle inside his shell.
Critical hit.
Mr. Vicious.
Oh, you're not going to roll an attack?
Ah, right, it's the wolf's go.
Oh,
No.
Wait, no. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Vicious.
I shall shoot my crossbow.
At the turtle.
At this guy, but I missed.
You do.
You have an action surge.
I guess I'll use my action surge.
For the sake of friendship.
And I will yell in the air and miss again.
Ooh, I'm not sure. Yeah, it does. It strikes its thick hide, but is deflected. The wolf gods are watching. Braxton. The creature is trying to get its fangs into the turtle.
Was that the wolf's AC or the orc's AC?
The wolf's
I
armor
was gonna
class
say
is 14.
I think he was shooting at the orc.
Is there an orc? Oh, this orc. Oh,
Yeah.
right. I didn't even know there was an orc left. Yeah, right. Yeah, he's dead.
Or Carol.
My mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, when you went, like, I thought you were. It sounded like he was talking about an orc, but I was like, oh, the orcs are dead.
I was going to say that was the one that took the opportunity attack.
It's hard
Yeah,
to
you're
Yes,
absolutely right.
as-
No, just poor management on my part.
hard to
it's your
understand,
go,
Billy.
Braxton.
He's a Chinese girl.
Exactly. And
I was-
I'm more into the. Anyway.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out when that one died.
Yeah. Billy just killed it. You're absolutely right. My mistake.
Okay. Alright, so... yeah, the only thing we can really see is that wolf. Unfortunately, that is within range for me.
Bam.
Oh, thank the gods for what?
The boys with the primitive fire-hardened spears stab the orc corpses violently, while the woman looks around for any further disturbances. And she sees the turtle and is about to kill it.
No! What, no! And he'll run back. She sees an orc running, a half-orc running.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
she realizes that you're a greater threat and prepares to engage you instead.
No. What? No. I'm with them. He's with them. We are with them. What? Friends. Anti-orc, what?
Hold on.
Ubo
We are
pops
fine.
out of his shell, brandishing his axe. Where?
We won, Ubo.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly. What?
Vicious kind of walks over to the shaman's corpse, but we failed the quest, though.
Huh?
She needed to die, but what?
What is this quest you speak of?
We wanted to take her.
Part of the mission was to take her in alive, but no, too great of a risk. What?
If her life is what you seek, allow me to examine her. One of my expertise in programming is in life saving.
I pick
can
her
I
head
go
off.
and-
I pick her head up off the floor and show it to him.
Oh, I guess that changes the circumstance. Carry on.
Who are you? What have you come for?
We came on a mission from... Oh, I need to sit, and he falls back.
We were sent by...
Oh dear, companion, allow me to assist you. And then...
I'm going to go over to the half-orc and try and bandage his wounds. I'm out of spell slots, but can I just roll a medicine check to see if I bandage some of his wounds?
Yeah, sure.
Oof.
They're too gruesome for the first aid that you're offering.
I bow to the one-eyed lady and say, we were sent by Lord Marinus to assist you in this orc plague that has besieged your village.
I don't know of any Lord Marinus, but you were sent by Chauntea. You've rescued us. We owe you everything.
No, not Shanti, or what, Lord Marinus, what?
I don't know of any Lord Marinus.
He's the Lord of Gloriana, what?
I don't know any ship called Gloriana.
Do you know of a
ship.
These lands are Gloriana now.
These lands are the Stone Lands, or the Stormhorn. You're not speaking any sense.
And will, I suppose, explain.
She's fascinated to learn the truth. And, but she is insistent that it was actually Chauntea, which sent you, the goddess of fertility and of farming. Regardless of the circumstance, this is a time for celebration. And a time to get home. So, she has 22 people that have survived this siege out of about 50, and they have 7 sheep. They're all, malnourished or injured or elderly or infirm, or some other, they're not prime troops. But yeah, they want to go home.
Tamol is going to start assessing individually, one by one, injured and malnourished person, and trying his best to assist each one as he can. Simply asking the same question over and over again.
Please allow me to examine your injuries so that I may assist you. I need your permission to perform this action.
And then after that, going to the next one in turn.
The elderly aren't interested in your assistance, but the young are.
Would you like medicine checks rolled, or is this just
No, it's fine. Consider, especially because we've got I guess all night, unless if we are camping here, we might not though. You might decide that that's far too dangerous. And...
In his half-dead stupor, Curse yells out, "Balfour! Do the good bell." Wait, he's with the elephants.
Uh-oh. Poor Balfour. Alright. So yeah, you're able to lock yourself inside Shepherd Rock overnight, and when dawn comes, we prepare to return to Gloriana from whence we've come to Griffin Hill. You carefully climb down mountain trails guided by the members of Shepherd's Rock, who are the people who created these trails in years past, and so you find much safer ways of descending than the ones that you chose. But you come across Conrad's corpse The crows plucking out its eyes, the bloat of the dead and the heat of the day beginning to swell his body into misshapen forms. What do we do about it?
I quickly run over and I just like smack away the crows and say, fuck off, and then I just look at his body for a second and I just pick him up and look at him and his eye in his holes his eye sockets and say, it's time to take you home, buddy.
Was this a...
Yes, he was. He was a friend of ours. Fortunately, he met a fatal accident. Couldn't climb too well.
This is unfortunate. You have my sympathy. If you lack or need comfort, I am programmed to assist in these areas.
It's okay, Tommel. I got this, and I will try to just pick up his body and carry it home.
It's a grim task, but it's a task worthy of a hero. As the antelope graze, and as the condors and vultures fly overhead, and as the day heats up, we return to our home in Griffin Hill. And how do we feel? Are we triumphant?
Feel lucky to be alive.
It is a mixed feeling, I think.
Tamil feels nothing.
Vicious feels completely devastated. The slaughter of the orc family still bothers him. How the battle went, even though they were lucky to survive. He's losing a comrade in the process. Just made it much worse. So he's just kind of, once he gets to the town, he's just gonna go to the local tavern and just start drinking.
What happened with that ogre family, by the way? I missed that.
Oh, we slaughtered them.
Hooray!
They all died. Tim, they're dead.
They smashed a baby with a hammer.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, Braxton feels like they did amazing.
But there is still one very important question that hasn't been answered. Who finds the letters bad-mouthing Marinix?
Fuck off.
the letters addressed to the Temple of Joaquin.
Let me find it. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that Jane would. You know, Jane would have the authority to go into someone's room. Like,
Yeah,
much
but
gold
hang
did you
on.
have?
But would she? Because he was on better terms with Vicious.
well, that's a good question as well. And Vicious is the one carrying the corpse. So, like, Vicious would be, judged by Marinus to be his inheritor. Or, not really, because the stuff that he owns will go back to his family. But more of his executor of his will. So yeah,
What do you do,
Vicious and Jane, both of you roll a D33, and whoever gets the highest wins.
A 33? What is this shit?
It's a random die.
Arctic's favorite number.
Arctic's favorite bullshit. What's the shit?
27 is my favorite number. 33 is a magical number. In case you didn't know.
Oops, I'm
Vicious, not Braxton.
Yeah.
He rolled it
Sorry.
me.
Oh, right.
That's
Okay, so
still
Jane,
vicious.
you have found them, and while you're going through the letters, Vicious walks in.
What a disgusting person going through the letters that are addressed to a dead person's family. Shame on you.
She definitely is, yeah. Who walks in?
I do.
So you're reading,
Vicious.
yeah, you're reading the
Yeah.
news, and Vicious walks.
Ambitious, yeah. So she turns upon you and smiles for a moment. But hello, what, ma'am?
What are you doing?
I'm looking upon our friends. It matters not. How may I help you? What do you?
Marinus put me in charge of his belongings. I was gonna make sure his body and the rest of his things were sent to his family and church. What exactly are you doing?
I have a few things of his I was looking through. I knew not this man, not truly, but I feel responsible. I feel something inside tells me I'm responsible. And that's, I need to know him. And I do. I need to put him to rest in my own people's ray. In the people of Tilverton. I need to put him to rest in the shadow that we all lay. And she grabs, she holds the I guess the letters, right? And tries to put them away. Not secretively, like you see them. She tries to shove them away into her, I guess, like her pocket or whatever.
What are you doing with those letters, though? You're gonna mail them, aren't you, for him? Those were his last things he was doing while he was alive.
Would I mail them? Would I see what they had to say? Would I bear the weight of what they truly said? No, I wouldn't.
Vicious kind of scoffs and says, I'm not gonna stop you from doing anything, but I don't think it's right that you're taking those letters.
Then you bear the weight of the broken god. You truly are an avatar of the one of many wounds. May you carry Darren's devotion as he did.
Vicious spits on the ground. Fuck the gods. They didn't help Conrad. They didn't help us in that battle. They turned a blind eye when we walked in and slaughtered a family of ogres.
He did not turn a blind eye. The one who endures. No. He smiled upon us. Those who serve him. Those who serve the man who serve him. He smiles upon us. You need only open your eyes and accept him into your heart. And then you'll feel him.
He smiles at us, but I don't smile back. I will spit in his face. I lost a friend today. He didn't show the same love to him, and now he's dead.
Chains of greed bind. Chains of hate bind. chains of fear bind, and the righteous, yes, the righteous teach us how to choose.
Vicious walks out of the room. Says nothing.
And so Jay just shoved these fucking the letters away, and she doesn't show anyone else. In fact, she burns them later if she has a moment alone.
Marinus is he's conflicted. On one hand, he's celebrating the victory, the return of these people from Shepherd's Hill, and the addition of another of more than a score of people to the population. But on the other hand, Conrad was an important member of the community. And these are words that he's telling everyone. If he had ambitions to open up great trade links, trade that we desperately need in this place. Caravans that would bring grain. Caravans that would take away our ivory and exchange it for medicine and for swords. But now, he has paid the ultimate price. The price for Gloriana. And I declare him a hero. I declare Conrad a hero of Gloriana. First man to die for our cause. Conrad Leoris, we salute you. Prepare 100 gold pieces in addition to the to whatever other treasures he may have, to be sent to his family, for he has no family here in Gloriana, and we cannot yet spare a merchant caravan, ironically, to deliver his fortune.
Just like to say,
it is a great shame, yeah.
There's no way he is the first man to die for Gloriana.
Maybe not. And so, it is a great shame, but it shows just how important he was to our people, to our community, that the loss of this great man is the very reason why we cannot send his inheritance home. For without a merchant lord to protect our caravans, we can have no caravans at all. Gloriana salutes you, Conrad Leoris. Truly, you had all of our best interests at heart. And truly, you were a friend of mine. Yeah. Jane, like, what do you think?
How do I think? What do you mean?
Like, do you give like a resounding clap or a little golf clap, or you walk out of the room to this? This is a speech that Marinus is giving to, the citizens.
Is she allowed to speak herself?
Sure. I mean, Marinus, you're the power behind the throne, right?
Yeah, she joins him up in where he's speaking, and she bows her head for a moment, and she recites something that she's studied under Perrin. When talking about the religion that this man follows, he wept for the hungry, he wept for the sick, he wept for the lost, he wept for the broken. He wept even as the rains fell, as the suns parched the dusty earth. And as the moon shrank to a silver, and that he said, I will be there. And as we look upon Gloriana, I will be there. The woman recites this, and she looks upon everybody else and smiles, looks upon Marinus, smiles, bows her head, and then turns away and then walks toward her own affairs.
After the crowds have dispersed, Marinus calls the heroes, including the Warforged and the Turtle, who, he had no concept that he would ever have here at his castle. Yonder heroes, you are the spirit and the sword and the shield of Gloriana. I feel remiss. The deed that you have done for me is worth more than what I have to offer. He hands over 20 sacks of gold, each with 10 gold pieces. Hands over 200 gold. You may distribute this as you see fit. I do not know if you have any arrangements, if these people are your mercenaries, or if you consider them your kin. But regardless, there is something else I wish to do for you. And the vizier steps out from the shadows, and he points at Marinus, but doesn't say anything. And Marinus raises his hand. No, Perrin. They have earned this. Vizier Perrin points again. But Marinus raises his hand again. And he produces a blade 18 inches long, made of mithril and gold, silver, and encrusted with 4 jewels: sapphire, emerald, ruby, and diamond. Would that I could give this to the true hero of Gloriana, Conrad Leoris. But if I know the man, then I would say that he would want one of you to bear it.
What kind of sword is it?
It's a short sword.
Which one of the boys can wear that kind of thing?
Not my style. What?
Vicious steps up and says, I'll take it in Conrad's honor.
You are his best friend, says Marinus. I think this is most fitting. How do you split up the 200 gold piece?
Not saying
How
that
many
any
of
is
us?
offered to me, but Hamill does not take any. There's no need for gold.
So there's 5 of us. If Tamil's not taking any.
That is the case.
Jane will take none.
So 50 gold each. In that case. 50 gold each in that case.
Sounds about right.
Boom.
Braxton is actually going to go and give a good amount of it back to those individuals that we rescued.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one that we're actually fighting?
Yes, yes. You are too kind, she says, crying from the only eye that she has left. You are too kind. You have already saved my life, my people, my flock. And yet your generosity still overflows? I cannot accept this.
You showed strength. And right now, that's what Gloriana needs more than anything. You need better than stone spears and cloth to protect you.
You are right. Gloriana needs strength. But none need it more than Gloriana's heroes. I thank you with my life, but there is more than I can do. Do you love the goddess Shantea?
He'll nod.
Good.
Coming from the forest, I believe that he would worship her to a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, bountiful harvests are everyone's business, really.
Yep.
It was her that brought you to me. It was her that brought you to me, she says, taking your hands in hers. I prayed that you would come. I prayed. I asked Shantia for a savior, for an angel, for anything. I didn't care if it was a giant bear or a knight in shining armor. And it was you. I fashioned something during our time inside the cave. I poured my heart and soul into this, and it was blessed by Shantia. I know it was, for she taught me how to weave wool and gold and iron all together into one single garment. And she takes off the armor that she wears, a very, very fine suit of a chain shirt that looks like it's been woven by hand in the way one knits a jumper. It is the iron fleece of Shantia, she says, and it is for you, my hero.
I will wear it proudly. Thank you.
She kisses
But-
your hand. Thank you, sir and Sir Knight.
Make sure you take this and take care of your people. He says,
Yes.
still handing over the gold.
Yes. And she heads to the market, acquires the food and the jumpers, the accommodation that her people will need.
Is Jane allowed to go see Mary?
Yeah, of course.
She'll go see him during this time that they're home, and enter whatever chamber he's in. Kind of bow her head for a moment. My lord, I'm sorry if I disturbed you.
You disturbed me much more when you left without my permission.
But forgive me. Forgive me if I had merely wished to save those who you had saved.
Those who I had all but forsaken, he says. Am I doing the right thing, Jane? Should I have sent my own men, my soldiers? I am relying on these foreigners, these vagabonds, and look at the creatures they are picking up along their way. I meant what I said when I said Vicious was Conrad's best friend, but the man is a killer. Vicious. His name alone is enough. And what were those monstrosities that you brought back? Some dragon beast that wears its shield on its back, and a metal machine that looks like it was factured by some gnomish warlord. Am I doing the right thing, Jane? Should I have my purple dragon do the dirty work?
Tell me, my love, would you? And he looks up for a moment. She looks up for a moment, right? And looks upon him for a moment, and smiles. Would you, for a moment, think those you have brought back through your conquest, through your love of the man, the god? And she points up. Would you doubt them? Would you doubt the victory? I would say nay. You should not. They are the ones who have brought you victory. They are the ones who have brought you conquest. They are the ones who lead you. But who are led astray nonetheless. For you should persevere in the face of pain. You should heal the sick, the wounded, and the disease. You should take up the tasks that no others dare. And yet, she looks down for a moment. You have left your friends to suffer where no others would dare to go.
You see his heart melt with some of your earlier words, and you see his face soften. But those final few sentences seem to harden the man again. Well, there is still much work to be done. And since they are gaining in experience and are better armed, perhaps I can continue my trust. But it will break my heart, my dear, to send these worthy people to their death the way I sent a worthy man like Conrad to his. He would have changed this realm, Jane. He would have made us prosper.
I would ask but one thing. You look upon those who I travel with, and you look upon yourself, because those who I travel with, the heroes of Gloriana, they have gone beyond what you are capable of in some way. So I have seen. And yet you, in the eyes of our Lord, and she points up, you have fallen. You look past your family, and where are they now?
They are right here with me. He kisses you.
As she kisses him back, smiles, and places her hand upon his shoulder. Yes, some of us, but nevertheless, we shall endure.
And the curtains on the four-poster bed are drawn to a close. The next day, when you have sated your thirst at elven wine bars or dwarven whiskey holes or Rumble Belly's little tavern, you are called again to court and Marinus, full of praise. It turns to you again and asks, you are now the most famous people in Gloriana. You have staked yourselves in the Stonelands, have become a thorn in the side to the Zentarum, have shattered entire orc tribes, and have captured Great War Machine. But you know that there is much yet to be done. There are many quests that must be fulfilled before Gloriana can be a secure realm. Have you any plans on what you might look towards next? And he looks towards, in particular, the Warforged and the Turtle, and says, and you, who have only just joined this realm, do you accept my protection? Will you come into my service? Are you here for the glory of all people of good heart?
I simply do as commanded. If this is what you command, I shall obey.
Ubo has a bit of a confused look in his face. Ubo already has Shell for protection. Why would Ubo need your protection?
He laughs for the first time that day and says, yes, well, Ubo, then can I ask for you to give your protection to us, to our
Ubo
realm?
needs his Shell.
Then Ubo, all I ask is that you be a good soul and a good friend to your companion, and I will ask nothing more of you. Braxton, Kursk, Vicious, Jane, you know what needs to be done. Trade relations. There is danger in the Moonsea Ride. There are still orcs to deal with. Centaurs. We have not enough allies and too many enemies. We have too much territory and not enough patrols. Where will you go next?
Well, what? After all that hubbub at Shepherd's Rock, I was rather hoping we could take a 10-day off for rest and recuperation and then head out to do something.
Aye, you've earned that, my friend. That and more.
But we do need to keep an eye out on what we want to do.
Kursk,
Yes, what?
I
would
think.
you not want to meet the... Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. You were.
He says, would you not want to meet the king of the Moonsea Ride? What?
It does seem that that issue is rather pressing.
I agree, but it is also very dangerous. I feel that while there is a great deal of urgency dealing with Halgar the Grim, there is also the issue of the danger that it presents. Not to mention the rather slim reward, says the Vizzy. You're not helping.
Oh, not unless we can get this Ellen Tara back. And he gives a wry grin to Perrin.
Yes, and Perrin's smile fades. If you can do that, then you will truly deserve the accolades that Lord Marinus seems so eager to place upon you.
It seems that while we're in the area anyway, we may be able to see if there's anything we can do for the people there.
Then here, take this purse, 300 gold pieces, from the Commonwealth of Gloriana. If this is your decision to go into the Moonsea Ride, you can use it for whatever purposes you deem most useful. I saw what you did with your reward, he says to Braxton. I heard about that. And so I can know that I can trust you with this treasure. Yeah, that's right. 300 party gold was theoretically to be used for the good of the people, but hey, you're politicians and heroes now. You can be as corrupt as you want.
Okay, if it's for the people, then no.
Yeah, it's part of the quest. It's one of those things where whatever we don't need to use for the quest becomes ours.
Oh, that one, the top one. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to put it in the treasury as quest gold or the Gloriana purse?
Commonwealth purse, yeah, probably something like that.
Okay.
There is no need to engage the enemy. At this stage, all we really need to know is how much of a threat this Halgar the Grim poses, Gloriana. Indeed, if we stir up the hornet's nest, we may force ourselves into a war, or even worse, he may pillage our countryside and entice us into battle when we can ill afford to leave Griffin Hill defenseless against a true invasion. And he looks west towards Anarok. Nay, it is best if you do not endanger yourselves too deeply. Gather what information you can, what forces he has, where his headquarters might be, what range his troops have, these sort of things. You are military-minded, some of you. You are intelligent people. And you are people with good judgment, character. So I will let you decide what information must be gathered and bring it back to me. And the Vizier says, but if you can, rescue the elf maid. Alantara, and he winces, would be more valuable to Gloriana than any of you could imagine. If she should die, do me the honor of bringing me her body. Are there anything that you would need?
Yeah. I think I started getting the grasp of what you were teaching us last time. What? Can we try again?
Of course. Of course, of course. Let us spend the next 10 days together. You are among my most promising warriors. You are heroes. I look upon you and I think of my own adventures in the Stone Land. And I think of the adventures that Alusair and her companion enjoyed or endured. Yes, of course. And so for the next 10 days, you will be able to practice as you level up and prepare for the next stage of your adventure.
Also, during that 10-day, is that 10-day specifically for leveling up?
No, and in fact, you can take longer than that if you want. It's really in your hands. Though, like, and I'll mention this now. I'm keeping a not tally, but I'm keeping a running rough estimate of how long it takes, because this campaign begins in spring, and
ends at the start of summer.
well, the Zentarum are expected to march at the start of summer. So this campaign might not necessarily end then. It might end prematurely, or it might end after, but that will have an impact on the broader story when it does.
Okay, so during the 10-day, could I commission two of the superior things from the arms and equipment guide?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. Yeah. I did that book up a few weeks ago, but I don't quite remember it.
I was going to commission a superior glaive and a superior thing of chainmail.
And on the side note of that, how much of my time as Jane can I spend trying to, and I'm going to straight up with this, corrupt this man into going and abandoning?
Like Marinus?
Yeah.
Right.
Jesus.
Like, that's a pretty hefty sort of ask, particularly because he's got like a royal writ. You'd be more expecting him to choose Gloriana over you, since Marinus is he's a self-sacrificing guy who is willing to take the whatever punishments the world throws at him for the sense of duty. So yeah.
So I'm asking him in this moment, just because it's a player, like me as a player, I'm trying to convince him to do this. And as a character, as I think she would, under the duress of who she's under right now, would ask, because she's in control. Well, she could potentially be in control. Is it's your friends who are, maybe he has told her or not, at length of where his friends have gone, Arethyr and all the rest of the party, his family, or Gloriana, right? And that's the choice, right? That's the, like, do you choose like your where you've grown up or your friends that you've made until that point?
My dear, perhaps I don't have to choose between the two. Perhaps I can choose both. I need to be committed to Gloriana now. I need to be my own desires, my own friendships, pale in comparison to my duty, the crown, to the hidden king of Cormia. But you weren't there, my dear, on the road. I sometimes forget. But my friends and I, we work well as a team, as a strike force. We were able to infiltrate entire warbands and armies, and we could kidnap the generals and defeat the wizards. As a team, we are indomitable. There will come a time, I feel it in my heart, that my friends will return to me. And when they do, I will be ready. And I can serve Gloriana and Cormia and King Azun V by being with my friend, by helping them with the most important military tasks, sabotages and assassination, other grim work that, well, it pains me to dirty the name of our Lord with these operations, but that is the price of war. If the enemy must suffer so that the innocent can prevail, then that is what I must do. I am not abandoning Gloriana, my dear. No. I intend to save Gloriana by traveling beyond its borders, alone if need be. Can you accept this?
I, and Phrixus too, with inside, would accept anything my lord would offer.
You know, this means that you will need to be in control. I have no one else I can trust. Are you ready to... Are you ready to be Lady Rosalie? Lady of... who controls Gloriana?
My friends that I've gathered, they would only seek that I accept such, that I become, as you say, your lady.
He embraces you. It is decided then. We trust in Almeta, but we know that suffering is not a term.
So, one thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
During this downtime, since we can take a tool proficiency.
Yeah.
I wanted to take Smith's tools.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I wanted to actually try and use the arms and equipment guide myself.
Absolutely.
To craft something.
No, absolutely, no worries. So this is good because it deals with Kirst's issue as well. So yeah, if you're gonna, so what are you gonna craft first of all? So it's great, first time we get to use this thing.
Longsword.
All right, so a longsword takes 2d4 days. So even if you roll 8, that's not gonna matter too much. But you can still roll the 2d4 just to see how long it does take. For the record, I suppose. Yeah, so right in the middle, 5 days, halfway through the 10-day process. Make your tool proficiency check. You can use your proficiency bonus that you've just picked up.
He gets double because of the guide too, right?
Right, yeah, of course. Yeah, right.
Alright, so I'll check it as expertise.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just check the expertise.
Strength based?
Yeah, if you want it to be. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Heavy work. You've created a masterpiece. So how much money do you spend the additional 100 gold pieces?
Yep, to make it the superior.
Of course you do. So like with that extra 100 gold pieces goes somewhere. It's not just wasted gold that vaporizes. It represents the superior, not just the craftsmanship, but the materials. Actually, it actually represents the materials. So you might have used, exotic grips or jeweled pommels, or you've put elven runes into the blade, whatever. That 100 gold pieces represents something. What's it mean for you?
To me, it's probably he found some sort of, he doesn't necessarily know what it is, but some sort of metal in that, like that pile of scrap metal that we got back from that orc that had been building the chariot.
Mm.
And it's basically like extra effort in refining and building and using.
Cool.
And it creates a better blade.
You have an absolutely magnificent sword. It's a perhaps the most finely crafted non-magical weapon in the realm, and even Perrin is impressed. Himself a smith, he's quite impressed indeed. So, Kursk, you during those 5 days, you're going to get like a regular smith to do what he can.
Actually, I was going to take proficiency in Smith's tools as well.
Excellent, and you can make the check yourself and not have to rely on some hillbilly with half a brain.
I was going to make two things too, but I was going to make a superior glaive, which is going to be what I'm going to take care of first. So
okay, so do the 2d4 days.
2d4.
Yeah, so you have to forge the thing a couple of times, and sharpening it proves you lose the edge, and you have to go back and do it again. But you get through it, and make your check to see when you put it through the ringer whether you've done a good job.
You're fucking kidding me!
Inspiration?
I used it already.
Oh no!
So you have wasted 50 gold and 6 days. Perhaps perhaps you spill the molten metal, or maybe you blow up the forge, trying to get it far too hot, and cause 50 damage worth of gold damage to infrastructure. You still have 4 days left before it cuts into the literal campaign time, as in the war campaign.
Can I assist him in trying to in a second attempt?
With the proficiency check, but not the time.
Okay.
I'll see if it's taking us too long. If not, or if it is, then we'll just drop it for right now. Like, we could go through it, and when it gets time we'll get a sense if it's taking too long. Yeah,
that's right. So make your 2d4, and yeah, you'll.
No.
Yeah, every process that you take just seems to, Yeah.
You're overly cautious this time.
Apparently.
Because you don't want to end up screwing something up again.
Yep.
So the 10 days have passed, and you've gotten some experience, but have made no mastercraft.
Alright. Yeah, I have the arcane fighter thing ticked, and it's not showing my spell save or spell attack bonus. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't deal with character sheets.
Okay, under spellcasting ability, just click on it and switch it to intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
That fixed it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
what you need to do. But we're checking the arcane fighter. That just adds in your spell slots.
Okay.
Alright. So, next week we will be setting out on the Moonsea Ride to find out what we can about a guy called Helgar the Grim, who is a raider that's come down from the north, and is kind of... Before Marinus turned up and claimed Gloriana, this guy came down and basically claimed the eastern half of this realm as his own. It might help if I change the maps, actually. So we can see the Moonsea. The Moonsea Ride is that red strip that runs through the map. And Gloriana is
I'm assuming we end up going about to Tilver's Gap is the plan.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's where Gloriana ends, is at that borderline, that red borderline.
That's where that's where we kidnapped the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where it
is.
happened?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep. Brotor still has his ring. Oh wait, his name was Vorn. Isn't one of the guys here is Vorn too?
There are a few Vaughns. It could be. They're all related.
Important, notable people. Yep. Amadeus Vaughn.
So Loki, I'm trying to push my character, or sorry, the other character that Marinus, into the other campaign, right? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it through what I assumed was my other character, Jane, his point of view. So if that gets in the way, let me know. It's up to you, Arctic.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. And
fun.
Yeah, that's right. Like the way Marinus sees it is, he's got to do what he's got to do, and if that means getting out of the throne and picking up the sword, then so be it. It's up to you. Like, you can
playing the antagonist to my protagonist. I like it.
Precisely.
Now the choice is: do I go with Arcana or Nature Proficiency?
I thought you did Smith's Tools.
No, because I'm going Arcane Archer, I get to choose one of those skills.
Alright.
Mm-hmm. And then I also get to learn either Prestidigitation or Druidcraft.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to have to head off. So I will catch you up in a week's time, and we'll head out in towards the Moonsea Ride and find out what we can about this Talos worshipping invader.
Sounds
All
good.
right.